See?
We're live! Yes, let me move the camera just a little bit to the side. Manita.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
We're live right now.
We are live.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
There we go. All right, we are live. We are live. Let me move this a little bit this way.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, there we go.
All right. Yes, we're live. We're live. Sometimes we gotta give a little bit of time before we get people online. Right now, live watching. So if you're watching live, this is right now. Well, that is what live is all about. Let us know where you are watching us from. We want to know which countries are, watching us right now. We're going to interact live with all of you. Last time we had Patrick from New Zealand. We had people from Canada, Karen from Canada, Chris. Yes. Yes. How are you? How are you doing? How are things? And yes, I know Chris from Orlando. They're a favorite of ours. They're always watching our videos. They're always checking. They're always making sure that we're doing okay. How are things in Orlando? Let us know that. If the pandemics are still going up, let's see. What do you say? What she said?
Yes, I'm good. Stuck in the house, but safe and happy.
Stuck in the house, just like us. We're going to give an update on what's going on here in Spain. Things are not like we were expecting, and oh boy, things are.
Glad you're all there. Hello to all of you.
Hello, yes. So Chris, it's always there, always making comments. Every week when I post something, Chris is there, and even when I don't post something, they make a comment like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" So we do appreciate you, and you're one of the very faithful ones. So I do have a surprise. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I do have a surprise, and right now Chris is among the top 10 people for that surprise. It's gonna be a very good surprise. I'm not gonna mention it because it's a surprise.
That's the whole point of a surprise.
Right, that is the whole point of the surprise. So once again, if you're joining us from any part of the world, let us know. We got some right now. Chris in Orlando, Florida, and like I was saying before, we have Patrick from New Zealand. Who else is there? Who came aboard?
Gloria from New York.
Gloria from New York. How are things in New York? We live about 2 hours from New York. We're in South Jersey. So sometimes if we got that accent, it's from South Jersey.
They also said glad you're with the family.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I'm enjoying the time with the family now. They're all quiet, but they're going to be talking today. I want to make sure they talk, especially this one, because she's the one that talks the least in camera. But we'll see. So we got Orlando, we got New York. I don't know, Patrick, if you're out there, let me know if you're out there. I'm going to give a shout out to Karen. She was in Triacastela yesterday. She missed the lockdowns in Burgos, and she missed the lockdown in León. Who else was there?
Giuseppe.
Hi. Giuseppe, ¿cómo va? I know that you are are you still in Portugal doing the Camino Portugués? Let me know. Aquí va bene con la mia famiglia. Tutto bene?
I don't know how to say that.
Tutto bene, yes, and la mia famiglia muy bene. So, grazie mille, miei amici di allá de Venezia.
Thanks a million, my friend from Venice.
She got it!
I think I translated that.
Sì, tutto parli italiano, più o meno, italiano e spagnolo muy simili.
Okay.
Let's see, who else?
Gloria also said, we seem to be okay, under control here, at least for now. Have to tell you, I've been a bit jealous that you were able to go and walk.
Gloria Martinez. Gloria, where are you right now? What part?
New York.
You're in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, who else is with us live? Who is with us live?
Michael from Germany.
Michael from Germany. I don't know how to say anything in German. I'm sorry, Michael. I'll promise that for my next live, I'll learn some words in German. But who knows? Let's see. What else? Who we got? Who we got there?
Gloria said Winchester. I think I'm saying that wrong.
Winchester County? Yeah. Oh, Winchester or Westchester County? Westchester County. I don't know where that is. New York's so big. But anyway, how's the temperature in New York right now? And Chris, how's the temperature in Orlando? I want to know how the temperature is right now there. And we'll see. While we get that, I want to give also a shout out to a couple of new members, subscribers. There's a couple from Britain. Let me. Did I say that right? Britain.
Oh no, it's just Chris said hot as always.
Hot as always. Well, it's better than here right now. I'll tell you. Let me see. What
And
other
it's
names?
64 and cloudy in New York.
In New York, 64. Just about what is in here.
Okay,
So
it's about the same temperature. It's pretty good.
it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a shout out to Faye and Dan's Travel. They're brand new subscribers to our channel. They also have a channel. They have a YouTube channel. They just started about a year ago. So Faye and Dan from England, just I'm gonna say hi to you guys. We also have a couple of new subscribers. Let me see who we got. I had it here. I don't know what happened. Bert Van Call. He was in Molina Seca. He was walking, doing the Camino, so he was in touch with me. I hope that Bert also missed the lockdowns.
Miss Kim said
in
hello, guys.
Where?
Miss Kim.
Miss Kim. Oh, by the way, Pastor Anthony came up very good in that video for the activity today. The what do they call it?
The yard sale.
The yard sale.
Yeah.
So he's looking good on camera. Say hi to the Parisi family in Hamilton, New Jersey.
Yes.
Right there from Victory Bible Church. So if you're watching close to Hamilton, New Jersey, Victory Bible Church, great people, and we have very good friends. It's a family, pretty much. Giuseppe.
Doing the Camino Portugués
I'm back at it
a week ago.
Giuseppe's back in Italy. He did the Portuguese 1 week and messed up at the Spanish border because of COVID. Yes.
Yes.
Also, they closed the border between Portugal and Spain. Is that what it was? Giuseppe, make the comment. Let us know.
And he said
What
that I
happened?
missed your drone flying. The
What
drone
is
shot.
The drone.
Yes, Giuseppe. If you want to see Giuseppe's on our very first video,
Yes.
and he is the gentleman walking with us in the Pyrenees. And very funny guy. I mean, we had such a great time. And that was one of the comments. Said, if you want to walk the Camino de Santiago, make sure you got your family and your drone and all that. So Giuseppe, we made a very good friendship with Giuseppe. And by the way, Giuseppe, if there was not the COVID right now, we would have visited you in
Italy.
in Italy.
Yes.
Because I have a car now. I can drive to Venezia.
Yes.
That'd be a
And
long drive though.
it's about 12 hours, but we can
It's
do
not
it.
that far.
It's not that far. We're only 5 hours from Paris. We're about an hour and a half from the border between France and Spain. And we're next to the Pyrenees. We're only 45 minutes from the Pyrenees. Beautiful out here. It's beautiful. What else?
Me too, my friends.
I went. Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as the COVID thing is out and I have a chance to go back to Italy, I'm going to stop by Venice and visit my best fireman in Italy. He's a fireman in Venice. So Giuseppe, regards to you. Let's see who else. Oh, we also have another subscriber here. Luis Ortiz. I think he's also from Florida. Thanks. We're gonna keep on walking. Nidia Corso. By the way, Nidia, yes, I lost 10 pounds walking the Camino.
Yes. I'm happy.
Good job. It's hard work.
I just wonder what that really means. Well, yeah, but I did. I lost 10 pounds doing the Camino. Carlos Rodriguez. Yes, it was tough. I did 30 kilometers in one day, and by the time I got in, ask her how I was doing.
Oh yeah.
I was dying. Richard Zambrano, amazing. Thank you very much. Maria Martinez, thank you. Let's see who else we have here. Ramon de Luciriaga, also is with us in it. David Brooks, a new subscriber. So hey, David, thank you very much. Riley also made comments. Stephen Willie, I think it is. Stephen, every time I record on my iPhone, the volume is low unless I put the mic. So only on the updates is the volume low. The rest of the videos, everyone has said that they're okay. So it's not all the videos that have a low volume. It's only the ones that I record with the iPhone.
I lost 20, but later I found them waiting that we at home.
Oh, yes, and I know that that's gonna happen.
Mom, it's because you cook a lot. You're like, eat,
There's
eat, eat.
nobody cheering for me here. You know, they're,
Oh, yeah. Good job.
yeah, but then I sit down. It's like, you want to eat, and then I finish eating stuff. You want to do something? So it's not easy. It's not easy to
He
lose weight.
loses it when he's walking, and then when he gains it back when he stops
So
walking.
you're telling me to go out and walk again. So when are you going walking? Let's see what else. Karen, by the way, I know you, like I mentioned at the beginning of the program, you were in Tia Castela, but I want to know how you're doing. You might be, I think you should be in Sarria tonight. Beautiful walk. If you walk from Tia Castela to Sarria, you're coming down the hills in Galicia. It's beautiful, beautiful. And let's see. What else? I'm gonna do a. If you have seen the Camino de Santiago, I'm already in touch with Rachel with Rachel's Camino. I'll get there, and she already acquiesced to say that we're gonna do a live collab. So we're gonna be doing that very soon. I talked to Ivar from Casa Ivar, and like I mentioned before, he wasn't there. You have to make an appointment like a week before in order to see him. So if you also seen the Camino de Santiago, Ivar owns a apartment right there in Santiago de Compostela, and usually pilgrims stay in there. I talked to Carlos Menco, but Carlos doesn't speak any English, so I will have to do the interview in Spanish, then translate it into English, and it's a lot of work. So I just put that on hold. And besides, Pamplona right now, it's under lockdown.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that. Maybe our people want to know what's going on in Spain right now. So we are in lockdown, but how is it?
It's just the province, the borders.
Navarra.
In Navarra, you can't go in or out unless there's something if it's justifiable. But it's in lockdown. They have police, guarding for that to be complied.
So I was reading some of the news, and which is unfortunately what I'm going to say right now, but I was reading the news, and they were saying that the albergue in Roncesvalles, the big albergue, it's closed. And I read that on the Navarra news. So all the pilgrims that were walking from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, crossing over the Pyrenees, apparently they're not going to have any place to stay, at least in Roncesvalles. So I don't know if they're allowing them to cross the border. I know there were cops right at the border. Who else?
Greetings from Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. That's music country right there. I love, I was also contemplating, we like Spain for our retirement. We might come here to retire, especially in Puerto Marin, but now she likes Navarra also. But we were also contemplating on the hills of Tennessee. Beautiful in Tennessee, so that might be a choice. So once again, the borders are closed in Navarra.
Restaurants are only takeout. They close the restaurants, and most of
No, I think they close them permanently. Actually,
They close them
I haven't
permanently?
heard
Yeah,
anything
'cause
about the restaurants.
if for school, I usually I get like a sandwich, and they don't even do that anymore. So I think they're just closed.
That's right. You're always walking in the middle of Casco Viejo and Pamplona. You're very close to the running of the bulls there. And how are the streets there?
What do you mean?
I mean, is it empty, or are the cops going back?
No, I mean there's police patrolling every day, but like that's not empty anymore.
There's still people walking around.
Is your school still open, or are you schooling from home?
And you can answer that
What
one.
was that for me?
Yeah.
And then we can ask her.
I'm actually still going to school, but there was a rumor that it was going to be shut down next week for like 2 weeks for like 15 days, but that's not happening. I'm still going to go to school.
They're not going to do the online thing?
No, but there was a rumor that they were going to do it.
So
Yeah.
how are things in schools? Everybody wearing a mask? Are they keeping safe distance and all that?
Yeah, everyone has to wear a mask, and we have to put hand sanitizer on when we get inside the school, and then before every class we put hand sanitizer on. We have to like keep the windows open and doors open, to get the the fresh breeze in. But during and recreo, which is like lunchtime, we don't have your masks on because you're eating and stuff,
Well, you're eating,
that's
right?
your free time. Recreo means free
Yeah.
time. Yes.
And you, what are you doing for school?
So I am doing Liberty online.
So she's with us.
Yeah, I'm just at home all
Yeah.
day.
There's another one.
Huh?
I heard the Pilgrim's office in San Jean Pied de Port closed early this year.
The Pilgrim's office in Saint Jean Pied de Port closed early this year. Yeah, I haven't checked the Pilgrim's office. Right, the Pilgrim's office. For those of you who are joining us, who are new to the Camino de Santiago, in order for you to start the Camino de Santiago, you go to the Pilgrim's office in Saint Jean Pied de Port, which is in, I can remember the name of the street, Rua de la Citadelle.
How can you remember that?
And it's number 34 Rue de la Citadelle. It's right in the middle of Saint Jean Pied de Port. If you want to see it, it's on our very first video. We go in the Pilgrim's office, and over there you obtain a credential, which is sort of like the Pilgrim's passport. And once you have that, everywhere you go, every albergue, every hotel, every restaurant, you receive a stamp as a proof that you walked that section.
Mm-hmm.
When you get all the way up to Santiago de Compostela, in the last 100 kilometers, you got to do it twice per day. You turn in your credential to get the Compostela, which is the affirmation that you walked the Camino de Santiago and the amount of miles that you walked all the way through. So in our case, it will be 800 kilometers or 500 miles that we walked through from San Jean Pied de Port to Santiago de Compostela.
You can also get the half Compostela too.
Yes, where do you get the half Compostela? Tell them how you get the half Compostela.
I forgot what the name of the place is.
Sahagún.
Sahagún.
So there's a city right in the middle of the Camino de Santiago called Sahagún, and there you get your half Compostela. But how do you get your half Compostela?
You go in there and you show them your passport thingy, and then they give you the Compostela.
You gotta pay, I think it's like €6, something like that. But if you want to know how to get a Compostela, we have a video. It's one of the videos in there. It's the one that goes through Sahagún, and we show you where the Church of La Pellegrina is. At the Church of La Pellegrina, you turn in your credentials, and you get your half Compostela.
Okay.
Here's another question.
Another question is just really appreciate your videos and updates. Was supposed to be walking now. Oh no.
Vernon?
Planning now for April, May 2021.
Vernon Pratt, I appreciate it. Thank you. And it's too bad, that there's a lot of people that were counting they were going to do the Camino de Santiago this year, and because of the pandemic, they were not able. And most of them are postponing their walk to 2021. And as far as 2022, I think Chris is going to do it in 2022. She was making the comment about that. Hopefully, it will be open. The pandemic will be over, or at least the borders will be open to come to Spain.
Next year is the the
Yes.
thing too. So that's
Next year is the Año Compostelano, or the
Yeah.
Compostelan year, which is a very important year for those who are Catholic and celebrate that in Santiago de Compostela. It's when they open a specific door at the cathedral. And it's very important. Next year is very important. Someone would say that they might postpone it for 2022, but you don't know. Yeah, we really don't know. So what else? What else do we need? Oh,
Time for a commercial. So if you haven't already seen it from the last YouTube live, this is the Camino Journal, where you can write down all of your experiences and stuff. And you can even keep track of who you met along your walk. Your walk. And so you should really go check it out. And you see these sunflowers? They're my favorite flower. So one like on this video equals one sunflower for me, because you guys love me, right?
So you got one already. We got one like.
Hey, you see?
One like, that's one sunflower. So, all right, give her as many likes, which equals sunflowers for her, so she can keep smiling. And all that.
If you guys want to go check it out, if you can find it on Amazon, I think it's in BDE Travels.
Yeah, BDE Travels Journal in Amazon. It's on Amazon. I think the link's gonna be down.
Link in the description.
That's right. Link in the
That's
description.
later on, not right now, because
I don't know. I think you can see it though. I think it's in there already. Never mind. Let's see. What else? We were walking. We were doing the last.
Ocean, the last stage.
The last 100 kilometers, 112 from Puerto Marin. We left on, was it last week?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to do the last part alone, but she was kind enough to travel with me. Who?
Love your videos.
Yvonne Vadi.
And then
Yvonne Vadi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
And then Love Sunflowers will definitely get
Oh.
Gloria Martinez, thank you, Gloria. There, you got another like. I think probably it was Gloria. So there you go. Thank you. So once again, I was doing the last 112 kilometers from the Camino. So we left on Saturday. She went with me, and we stayed at Puerto Marin. The initial hotel we stayed was closed, so we stayed at another hotel. And we left the next day, Puerto Marin, to Palas de Rey. And
Beautiful.
how was it? How was
I
it?
loved it. I was taking a lot of pictures, beautiful scenery. I just fell in love with that area. I really love that area. It's beautiful.
You know, Chris asked us that, why do we would like to retire in Puerto Marin?
Well, maybe we won't retire in Puerto Marin, but I love the area. I mean, it's a place to consider. I just love, it's
It is really pretty
countryside. I love all the landscapes, the woods, the mountains, and it's just. I just I just loved it.
Well,
it's the hillsides, the hills.
the hills, the
mountains.
people in Puerto Marin are very hospitable. They're very
Yes,
nice.
they are.
They're not, that typical European type of mentality. They're very, very hospitable, very humble people. And the rolling hills are just beautiful. And there's like a man-made lake, which is beautiful. The sights are
Pretty.
and in the morning, you get that fog that covers the mountain. It looks like a white blanket.
Blankets. It looks beautiful, and I have some pictures of it.
And I was looking at the unedited videos. Oh, it's beautiful. So you have to see those videos. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to our channel. So when we do post those videos from Puerto Marin in the morning, it is just beautiful. I mean, I was flying the drone. I was a little bit late because it was foggy until noon.
Yes, it was very foggy, and you said, "Oh, will I get some drone shots here?" Because it lasted until noon.
But then I got to fly the drone, and we flew the drone, and you can see the hills being covered with the fog. It was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that's one of the reasons why we consider retiring in Puerto Marin. There's a little bit of problem with the exchange between dollars and euros. You lose about 17% when you change, but you compensate that with the food is very, very cheap here. The medical expenses are really, really cheap.
Really cheap.
Yeah, they're non-existent.
The thing that's very expensive is the gasoline, the fuel.
The fuel is expensive.
It's expensive.
But then, it's a compromise. But then when you buy the food, it's cheap. The rent is cheap. The electricity is cheap. All the utilities are cheaper than the U.S. And the medical services are second to none. They're very, very good, especially here in Navarra, in Pamplona. The hospital is the #1 hospital in Spain, and their facilities are, about equal 1-to-1 with the U.S. So I was very impressed with the medical services in Pamplona. They don't have anything to envy from the United States, so that's a plus. So we were walking from Puerto Marin to Plaza del Rey. There's another comment.
It sounds amazing, your enthusiasm, but it's infectious.
But it isn't. Well,
Wait, what did it say?
It is infectious.
Yeah, it is
Oh my
because
God.
it's a.
What do you mean, Chris? It's infection. I mean,
It's like when you talk about it, like they get excited about it.
They get excited too.
well, come on, just saying. We'll make
And
a.
I also said looking forward to seeing the videos tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm editing tomorrow. Well, I'm going to try to post tomorrow. I'm editing right now the alternate route from León to Hospital de Orbigo. I'm sorry. And I started walking out of León, but then I skipped on the video to Virgen del Camino because if you watch the previous video, I already have that section walked on the initial video. So what I did is I left León and then I jumped to La Virgen del Camino where you have the bifurcation. If you keep on the road, that's the first video, but then I'm doing the second part, which is the alternate route, which is something that a lot of YouTubers don't do. Usually the YouTubers will follow the one route and they will never show you the alternate route. Well, I'm showing you both. So the video that I'm editing right now, it goes on the alternate route. It goes to different cities, different views, and at the end I get to Hospital de Orbigo. So I'm halfway editing that one. I'm gonna try to see if I can put it for
The
tomorrow.
reason
but
why
if
other
not,
YouTubers don't do it is because it's 10 kilometers more.
Yeah.
well, true.
It's-
Yeah, so he walked 10 kilometers, so that's dedication right there.
Well, no,
Extra.
we walked. I mean, I walked initially. There's another like.
Oh yeah. Here's another one. Are you planning to do any of the Camino in Italy?
Yes, in fact.
I would love to.
What would you like to do in Italy? Tell them what would you like to do in Italy?
Eat food.
Huh?
Well,
Not Italy.
that's
No, but
I'd love to
what do you want to do? What do you want to do in Italy? What's it called? What's the Camino called in Italy?
I have no idea.
See, I'm always testing them. Every time there's a picture of Rialto Bridge, I always ask them, where's that bridge? And they tell me in Florence. I'm like, Rialto in Florence for real? Giuseppe, tell them where Rialto is. The Via Francigena. It's called the Via Francigena, and it actually starts in Canterbury, south of England. And then you cross the channel, and you end up in France. You cross France from north to south. You go into Switzerland. You cross Switzerland from north to south, and then you end up in I think it's Saint Bernard, excuse me, in Italy. And you come down Italy via I think it's the Lazio region. You come down Milan. You come down, then you go to the our favorite part in Italy. What's it called?
Tuscany.
La Toscana. You go down to Tuscany. You go to Tuscany, and you we're gonna do it, but we want to do it without these girls.
Oh, yeah. I see how it is.
Well, you guys don't like to walk that much.
Yeah.
Although you're gonna walk the last 19 kilometers
Oh,
with
yeah.
me to Santiago de
The
Compostela.
last day we're walking, so you're gonna see that pretty
You're
soon.
gonna see that pretty soon. Well, anyway, where was I? But yes, we're gonna walk the Via Francigena in Italy, but we want to do it alone, and that's a long one too.
That's a long.
That's a long one too. If we start in Canterbury, that's 3 months walking.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 3 months walking.
That's
So-
a long time.
Okay.
I have
I'll
a
lose-
family
I'll
member
lose
to
some-
take care of the girls.
No, but I'll lose some weight. By the time I get to Rome, I'll be disappeared.
Did you say 3 months?
It's 3 months to walk the Via Francigena. Yes,
Not
Yes.
including rest days or with rest days?
with rest days. Yeah, you have
Yes.
to take a rest
We
day.
met
Yeah.
we met one of the pilgrims. Her name is Roseanne, and she walked from Switzerland all the way, and she should be finishing, or she just finished
I think she was finished.
at Camino Santiago, and it took her 3 months. So
Wow.
it's a
That's
long walk.
And that will be in one of the videos that we're editing right
Yes.
now. We met Rose. We met Victor from Zaragoza, also very nice gentleman, Javier, and Brian. Brian, he's a train driver here in Spain, so you'll see that on the videos. And we also met a very inspiring gentleman. His name is Don Miguel.
Oh yeah.
And Don Miguel, you'll see it on the videos. That video was from Arzúa to Pedrouso. We met Don Miguel, and Don Miguel is doing the Camino de Santiago, and he had an operation, a brain operation because of a tumor, and it left him handicapped. So you see this gentleman with his handicap walking, and with the joy that he does it's the envy of everybody else. So if you're just a couch potato and you watch him, he will inspire you.
He was inspiring. I mean, I was in pain walking, and I was complaining my feet hurt so much, and he was walking just fine. I was like, I'm going to go, and he was very determined and focused to get to that, to Santiago.
So those are the things that you see in the Camino de Santiago. You meet other people, and they're an inspiration to you. Oftentimes, people they come and do the Camino de Santiago because they're searching for answers. They want time for themselves. They want to get away from everything else and
The daily routine.
the daily routine. And in the Camino, it gives you time for that. So Don Miguel was an inspiration. There's a movie called I'll Push You. If you haven't seen it, it's a very good movie. This guy's paraplegic, and his friend is pushing him the 500 miles from San Jean Pied de Port all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And it's a very inspiring movie. I highly recommend it to see it. So what else? What do we got?
I have a trip pending for December 26th this year and try to do the Camino, but not sure if I can gain entry. Do you guys have heard any word on Spain opening or any advice best ways to get in?
Yvonne, we need to know where are you from. Once again, it all depends where you're from. If you're Canadian, Canadians do have access to come into Spain. If you're American from the US, then you do not have access unless you meet special requirements.
So
And
your visa.
you have to have a visa, a resident visa or a student visa, in order for you to come to Spain. So it all depends where you're from.
Okay. Listen, I'm dreaming of living in a place along the Camino. How do you say
Trabadero.
it? Okay. I love Spain, but rather live in one of those small towns, maybe having a small, okay.
See, who's that again? Gloria Martinez. Yes, exactly. That happens a lot in the Camino. There's a lot of people, they do the Camino for the first time, and then they see this small town, and they see there's a house that they're selling, and they go and they buy the house because they fell in love with the Camino, and
then they help the people.
They help the people along. There's a church right after you leave Subiri, and there's a church on the right side, and there were two pilgrims, a couple, that walked through there, and they were selling the property. And this church is from I can't remember if it's from the 12th century. So right now they bought it, and they're rebuilding their church to make it an albergue. And they're halfway there to build the albergue, but it was that same case. They fell in love with the Camino, and they bought the property. So,
What do you think is one of the biggest lessons from the Camino?
Who asked that? Gloria, that's an excellent question. She asked, once again.
What is one of the biggest lessons from the Camino?
I have an answer.
All right, yes.
Because before I started walking the Camino, 10 miles used to seem like an eternity. But then once I started walking, I didn't realize how much I could actually walk before I tried it.
Yeah, it's all mental, honestly. It's just crazy to see, even on a map, you could see how far you've walked, from San Jean Pied de Port, and then we walked up. Where did we finish walking? Us.
Well, I finished in Puerto Uso, but you guys.
Well, you could see it on the map, on the Google map, and you could see how far you walked. So it's honestly all mental. Just just keep going step at a time. It's kind of cool.
And I really like the people that you meet there too. It's really nice. You experience different cultures.
That's what I've enjoyed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meeting a lot of people from different parts of the world, listening to different languages, and and the really nice thing is that you keep walking. Usually you keep meeting these people every day,
right,
and you get friendships out of them, and you try to interact with them, and there's language barriers, but you understand each other. And it's the relationships that you build while you are walking. And it's a form also of listening to people. They have problems or they're going through things. And it's just, being an encourager and giving them motivation. So,
hi, Chris.
Chris, thanks a lot. Nice talking with you again.
Yeah.
What will be the greatest thing that I've taken out of the Camino? Well, I think is that once you put your whole life in a backpack, you kind of figured out that you don't really need much in this life.
You don't.
And when you start simplifying your life, it's actually better. Now once you do the Camino and you figure out that you can only live of a little bit of food that you get in the morning and during the day, and the clothes that you have, you really don't need much. And it helps you weigh, how you live right now. Yeah, it's
simplicity.
The simplicity of it, but you wait every day. It's like, do I really need these material things? And it actually teaches you that you really don't. You're actually, in a sense, I was free and more happy not having a lot of material things. And I think that's the greatest thing I actually grasp from the Camino de Santiago. And it's not depending on the material stuff, rather than, there's a Bible verse that says that not to worry, because even the lilies of the field are dressed, you're dressed better than they are. And your Father in heaven, if he cares about the birds, he'll care about you also. And it's that simplistic life that it's, really what you really need. what do you really need every day? You only need food, shelter, and love. And when you're walking the Camino, that's pretty much what you get. You get food, you get shelter, and you get love. And love from the other pilgrims. The pilgrims, you'll notice when you start doing the Camino de Santiago, every person, every pilgrim, even though some of them are very introvert, they all have one thing in common. They're very simple-minded people. By that, I don't mean that they're not, very.
Like they focus on the simple things in life, and they focus more on the relationships than anything material that they have. So if you walk up to somebody during the Camino and you just strike up a conversation, they'll pour like your heart out to them because like you're in the Camino, you're walking, they're like your family. You stay there,
Yeah, they're like complete strangers, but it's like you've known them your whole life practically.
Yeah.
Like the guy that I still remember, like the guy that gave Dana the food when he didn't have any food.
Oh,
like we didn't even know his name. Like I don't know his name, and he gave all the food that he had to her because she was hungry. Like that just blows my mind.
Can you expand that, because we do have the video about it goes Korea meets USA. But can you expand on what happened that day?
Well, we were walking. We went to was it a restaurant?
Yeah, it was like a bar restaurant.
And they weren't attending the pilgrims, so like we left, and he wanted to get food, but they weren't attending him either. So we kept walking, and he asked Donna, he's like, "Are you hungry?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm hungry." And then he goes, "Oh, I have like, was it a chocolate?" No,
It was a cookie bar.
Yeah, it was like a chocolate like cookie thingy, and then he gave it to her, like without even like no second thoughts. He just gave it to her. And like that was like the nicest thing ever. He didn't have anything to eat, and like all he had, he gave it to her. And we're complete strangers, so we don't even know his name. Like,
yeah, and he didn't even speak much English, but
He's from Korea.
Yeah, he put in the effort to at least like try to like talk in English.
Yeah.
But he noticed that we didn't have anything to eat there, and he noticed that you look. Well, actually, you look like you were hungry. And he's stopping out of the goodness of his heart to a complete stranger.
Yeah.
He just, with the limited English that he had, he just grabbed a bar and bowed down and gave it to you. And those are the little things. What was it that you say in one of the videos? It was the little things that
The act of kindness.
the acts of kindness that make a big
It
difference.
was like you said, I don't know, it was very wise or something like that. But it was just like
It was.
well, I don't remember.
like a little act of kindness
of water
will start
that
to like
builds up.
That's
build
it.
up, and then it eventually overflow to another person.
Yeah, well, I was impressed, girl.
Yes, you were inspired.
That's on video. I think it's video number 4. If you want to see what happened that with the inspiration, she got inspired. And then I think it's video number 10 or 8 that we meet the Korean guy.
There's 2 more questions. With potential.
Jose Suarez. With the potential Spain wide lockdown coming soon, what are your plans if it happens to finish the Camino? Well, Jose, I could have finished the Camino last week on Wednesday. The lockdown came on Thursday. But
We had only one day.
One day to finish to Santiago. So we're only 19 kilometers away, which is actually, if you walk, it's like 4 hours and a half. So that's how far we have left on the Camino Frances. So we're counting that this lockdown is for 2 weeks. I think it ends in November 7 or the 3rd, something like that. November 7, because the 3rd are the elections in the U.S. Make sure you vote if you're from the U.S.
Okay, so we have a really low battery for the computer, so I'm gonna go get
Go get the
charger.
cable and put it in there.
Run on.
I'm getting my glasses.
It's right here.
Yeah, if you find the credentials, they're in my next to the bed. The credentials, bring the credentials so I can show them
He's
to
from
them.
the U.S. for the visa.
Oh, the visa, Yvonne, yes. All right, I'll get that to it.
Did you?
Okay.
Plugged in?
It's
The
plugged in
computer
now.
is plugged in.
Go, because we're live. This is live. I mean,
You know what? Meanwhile, for all the newcomers, time for a commercial.
see, now I forgot what I was saying.
No, wait, before the commercials. That's because we were answering a question. He's from the U.S., so that means like you would need a visa to go to like the Spanish consulate wherever you're from, whichever state. There should be a Spanish consulate that corresponds to your state. And you go there, and then you have to look at the what? Oh, and what do you have to do? I forgot my whole
Well,
train of thought.
Yvonne, if you want to come to Spain, like I mentioned before, there are certain kinds of visa that you can apply for. If you get accepted into a university in Spain, you can apply for a student visa. You go to the consulate, You have to bring your passport. It's $156 for the fees that you have to pay. There are forms online on the Spanish consulate that you have to fill. You have consulate, and you have to get a, well, if you're going to stay more than 180 days, you have to get your fingerprints. You make an appointment at the consulate, and then when you go there, you turn in all the documentation, and you apply for a student visa. You have to prove that you have medical insurance for the time that you're going to be staying here, and you also have to prove that you have the means to sustain yourself while you are in here. Also, if you are retired, it's a lot easier because you can request a non-lucrative visa, meaning that you're not going to work here in Spain. And the way to do that is you fill all the documentation, you get your fingerprints, you make the appointment at the Spanish consulate, and you pay the $156 fee, which I think that's how much it was. And then you have to submit a form of your retirement plan or your bank accounts stating that you are able to sustain yourself with a minimum of 900 euros per month by the period of time that you want to stay here.
But all the requirements will be on the Spanish website, or I think it's
On the-
in.
yeah, on
So
the
just in case
consulate.
if we miss anything, it's all on the Spanish.
It's all in
on
there.
The consulate.
You also have to get a medical record stating that you are medically fit to come. And once you get all that, then the Spanish consulate will process your visa, and they will stamp your passport with the visa, and then you can travel. That visa initially is good for 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to stay more than 90 days in Spain, then you have to go to your local agency to get what is called an empadronamiento, which empadronamiento, if you want to translate, it's like you're getting a godfather kind of thing.
Wait, what?
It's a godfather that baptizes you, saying that, yes, you are here.
Part of
So you
Oh.
have to prove residency in here, that you're renting an apartment or you're buying a house. And once you get that, the empadronamiento plus the visa, you go to the extranjería, which is at the police station. You make an
Over
appointment
here.
over here or with the place that you're staying. And once you're done with that, they process your documents, and in 1 month they give you a card, which is the resident card, or it's sort of like the green card in the U.S. That is good for more than 180 days. That is good for 1 year. Then every year you have to renew it. Then the 5th year you apply for full resident. As a full resident, you have a lot of benefits. Like I think the medical benefit here is free for the residents, and it's amazing.
Isn't there like parking spots too for a resident?
Oh, that's for-
they
that's for
have
different-
reserved.
Yeah, they have reserved parking spots and all that. So there's a lot of benefits to that. So more instructions on the Spanish consulate.
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 Consulate. What did I say?
Consulate.
How do you say?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Time
All
for
right.
a commercial.
No, that might know that.
Bon mood. Did you guys finish the last bit, or are you still? We are still waiting for
You'll get your tongue done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll get it here in a second, Dana. Like I mentioned before, Amaris and I, we left Puerto Marin, and we did Palas del Rey. From Palas del Rey, we went to Arzúa. From Arzúa, we went to Pedro Uso. And Pedro Uso, it's only 19 kilometers from Santiago de Compostela. We could have done it, but we decided to come back because they were going to lock down Navarra.
And then we couldn't get in.
Then we couldn't get in, and they were going to be all alone. And we didn't want to leave the girls alone in the house because you know how that is.
No, we
for
don't.
2 weeks, no way.
What does that mean?
You know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
Yes, you know.
I honestly
Remember that there was a subscriber that asked about the information about seeing, not the
Yes, we had a subscriber. He's legally blind, and he asked me if he can actually come and do the Camino de Santiago. Well, here are our points. If you're legally blind, you must have someone to walk with you, of course.
someone.
There are parts that have some ridges. You gotta be very careful. So make sure that someone is with you at all times. But I mean, we've seen people with many handicaps completing the whole Camino.
Mhm.
And like we were talking before, it's an inspiration for all of us to watch people with handicap, completing such an amazing feat. Because 500 miles is not an easy feat.
And I don't know the information per se, but I know that there's groups of handicaps that they do form and they set up a date, and they all go and they get the help they need.
Usually they don't do the whole 500 miles. Usually, most people that are handicapped, they start in Sarria. In Sarria, it's 112 kilometers to Santiago de Compostela. So they form a group and they go together. And once you get from Sarria to Santiago de Compostela, you're not going to find a lot of ridges. The hills are a lot, they're not as hard, and they have a lot of pavement, so it's a lot easier at the end. It's just forest, a lot of forest in Sarria. But to answer the question, once the lockdown is lifted, we're going to go back and we're going to I'm grabbing everyone. So they started together, they're going to finish together with us. We're going to go to Pedro Suo, and we're going to walk the 19 kilometers to Santiago de Compostela, and we'll finish the Camino Francés. If I have time, then I'll do the Camino de Salvador, which is leaving León to Oviedo, that's walking north. In Oviedo, you get sort of like a Compostela also in there, which in fact, if you watch the program that I'm trying to post for tomorrow, the one who leaves León to Hospital de Órbigo, that day that I left León, I got into San Marcos Cathedral, and instead of making to the left to the Camino de Santiago that goes to Santiago de Compostela, I turned to the right. So I was watching the arrows, and I'm looking at arrows like, I must be in the right place. And all of a sudden, like 2 hours later, I see the sign that says Camino de Santiago, Oviedo, and I'm like, what? And then I walked a little bit further down and said Camino de Santiago, San Salvador. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not in the right place. So I walked 2 hours on the Camino de San Salvador, heading north instead of heading west. So I had to come back to León and then find the arrows to go to Santiago. So you're not going to see that part. That's the reason why I jumped from León to La Virgen del Camino.
We don't talk about that.
We don't. That's right. That's right. We don't talk when we get lost in the Camino and we keep on walking one direction instead of turning to the right at the Banco Santander, right?
Okay.
Right, Donna?
That is besides the point.
That's video number 2.
Another one.
We have another question. Let's see.
I live in Tampa, Florida. Jose.
Oh, Jose lives in Tampa.
I have already.
He voted. You're okay.
Nice.
Oh, good.
And then I commented my channel. I commented my channel.
Oh, yes, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But someone asked, what is the commercial?
Oh, well, we can do the commercial.
yeah.
Commercial.
Oh, okay.
The
commercial
commercial.
show then.
So this is the Camino de Santiago Journal, where you can write down all of your experiences in here. And there's not a sunflower, a seashell. And then and then there's also, you could keep track of like the people that you've met along your walk, and you're probably like, why is there a commercial in the middle of a live stream? But I'm over here like, look at these sunflowers. Like, look how pretty. And one sunflower equals one like for me. Because y'all love me.
No, one like.
One like.
Yeah.
So give her a like on the video. And say they want some flowers.
If you guys are interested in that, it's also found on Amazon, and you can put in like BDE Travels and then just Camino Santiago Journal, and it should be popping up right there.
So go to Amazon, BDE Travels, Camino Journal. You'll find the Camino de Santiago Journal, and you'll help us a little bit with our travels, because we are going to do more travels besides the Camino Francés, besides the Camino San Salvador, Camino Primitivo.
Besides
Besides the Caminos in general.
We are going to record. We're going to Puerto Rico. I'm not going to mention when, but we're going to go to Puerto Rico and record in Puerto Rico. We're going to record. There's a beautiful city called San Sebastián.
Beautiful.
And
It's north of Pamplona, so it's like next to the beach.
we're going to record some videos in San Sebastián, which, by the way, San Sebastián is the first day that you spend after you begin the Camino del Norte. But San Sebastián is a beautiful city, a lot of French architecture, and it has one of the nicest beach here in Spain. So if you have any questions, make sure you make the questions down below. We'll answer them right on the spot. Tell us where you are watching this video from. We got people from Tampa, from Orlando, from New York. We got people from New Jersey. We got the Jersey girls there, the Parisis, and we have people from Italy watching. From Germany. So let us know where you're watching from. Write it down below. Ask us any questions because we're answering it right now. What else? What do we have?
My channel.
Oh,
Not too.
yeah, okay. We need to talk about her channel.
Oh, Chicago. Hello.
Chicago. Who's from Chicago?
Um,
Mood. Oh, Chicago, the Windy City. What's the temperature right now in Chicago?
Very cold, probably.
oh, Gloria, I love San Sebastian flew in there to take a bus to Pamplona and then to San Sean.
Oh, nice.
Gloria flew into
San Sebastian.
San Sebastian, and
It
then you
is
took
really
a bus to San Jacques.
To Pamplona,
To
and then
Pamplona.
to San Sean.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
all
that's
right.
nice.
That's really
San Sebastian.
We weren't there for that long.
No, we were no, but that's strange. You flew into San Sebastian instead of flying to Pamplona and catching the bus. That's strange.
No.
It's our return
She
to
loved
Chicago.
San Sebastian.
Oh, she loved.
And she flew, she went from Pamplona to there.
Oh, okay, all right. Cool.
Yes.
okay. And then you also got 48 degrees Fahrenheit.
48 degrees
Yeah.
Fahrenheit in Chicago right now. Yeah.
It's frigid.
No, but Chicago can get really, really cold.
Oh, yes.
I spent the winter in Chicago, and the doors, the sliding doors of the airport, they opened up. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Cool Runnings. I did the same thing. I walked out. I'm like, I think it was about -7, and I'm like, what's a Puerto Rican doing in Chicago? I mean, it was terrible. What else?
Have a cousin there, so I spent a weekend before going on to the Camino. Oh, Gloria.
In San Sebastian, Gloria, you have a cousin in San Sebastian?
That's really cool.
Because if you do, then we gotta get in touch. Because I want to, make sure you make the comments in there. Because I want to find people that we can get together and stuff. Which, by the way, Karen, we'll get to your channel here in a second. Karen, if you're watching the live video, give me a shout out. I want to know where you're at. Because I know you're probably in Sadia tonight. And there was another gentleman. He was in, where was he? He was writing to me. And he also skipped the lockdown in Leon. But anyway, now we have another channel. Well, not we. She has another channel. And her channel is called...
Medic Marie.
Say it again.
Medic Marie.
All right, tell us all about your channel.
What do you mean? Okay, pretty much just behind the scenes of what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know.
She goes to college.
Wait, it's behind the scenes of behind the scenes? I don't get it.
Yeah.
What?
Like, okay,
Behind the scenes in your life? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, okay, so it's behind the scenes of BDE Travels. So like, I don't know what I'm talking
Like
about.
your perspective on BDE Travels?
No.
Confusion.
Okay, I can explain it.
All right, explain it so that they can understand.
Pretty much, it's just like tips about how it is in Spain and
Oh yeah.
how she's like going to
Subscribe
college.
to her channel.
And
Thank you.
stuff. And now she's going to college and stuff. And there is one video where, one or two videos where I am featured in them. Make sure to check them out.
Was I in any of the videos?
I don't think so. No.
What?
In any of my videos. I mean, I have a couple of videos on my channel already if you guys want to check it out. I haven't posted recently because some things are going on, which is going to be in the next video that I'm about to post. So yeah, if you guys want to know what's happening about that, just make sure to subscribe so you guys.
So, Bon Moody, subscribe to your channel, Medic
Yeah.
Marie.
Also, Chris also subscribes. So if you're
Chris?
watching this later, thank you.
So, she's got a channel. It's a YouTube channel. And what she does in her channel is she gives her perspective on her life here in Spain and everything that's been going on. So it's what's going on with her life and also a little bit of behind the scenes of BDE Travels.
Like
Yeah.
there was an earthquake, and then I kind of reported what went
I am
on during that
featured
time.
in that video. Make sure to check it out.
Dana, you're featuring most of the videos, all right? There you
Y'all
go.
love me.
Comment if you want us children to make a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Yeah,
in
sure,
your
I'm not
channel,
sure, but it's like a drawing
Cause
channel.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
it, but like I don't know. So you guys have to comment and say.
So we were going to ask you, Nanita, and I call her Nanita. Her name is Anielis, but I call her Nanita. We want to know what's the difference between the schools in the U.S. and the schools here in Spain.
Real quick, sorry. He said what?
What?
Because you were mumbling probably.
Oh, I mumble a lot, probably.
So
You
you
do
got to
mumble
speak
a lot.
up.
So what about what? What? Oh, I'm confused.
Wait, about the mumbling, I could translate because sometimes she speaks like this.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, we wanted to know the difference between the schools in the U.S. and the schools here in Pamplona.
No. What about the girls doing something? Okay, so to answer your question real quick before we get sidetracked, because we do that a lot. So she said, do you guys want to see a YouTube channel about theirs, like them starting a YouTube
Yeah.
channel?
That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
So that's a translation, okay.
Yeah. So I have mine, which is Medic Marie, but like if you guys want to see them start a
Like,
YouTube
do you
channel.
want me to make a personal channel, and do you also want us to make like the three of us make a channel? You know what I'm saying?
What would you call it though? What would you call your channel?
BDE
But
Travels.
we don't want to say it because
No, not yet.
we're not going to say it because it's yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it will be coming if you guys want.
Yeah, if you guys
All
want.
right, going back. You know, we're talking about the Camino de Santiago and all the life things that go on here in Spain and things that are going on. But we want to know what's the difference between the schools in Spain and here in, in the U.S. and here in Spain.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
A lot of differences and a lot of similarities at the same time.
Speak up a little bit so you can.
Okay.
See the little green thing right there? It says like how loud you're speaking.
Where? There. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh well, just go.
All right, but speak louder so they can hear it.
Okay.
And yes, the sisters are staying in Pampa. Glory. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, go.
Okay. What are the different? Okay, I'm gonna start with differences. So differences are in the U.S. you have prom and like dances and homecoming and all that. You don't have that here, which is kind of sad. Also for lunch, we can go outside of the school. So like I usually go to a restaurant every day to get a sandwich to get lunch, which you can't like leave the school just to like leave, you know?
In the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, in the U.S.
But now it's closed.
Yeah, because of for 15 days it's closed, so kind of sad about that. You have in the U.S. you have like shooting drills, fire drills. You don't have shooting drills over here because it's safer.
Do you feel safer in schools here?
Well, I mean, I feel like it feels the same, you know, because I have police patrolling over here, and in
I think
the
that's
U.S.
probably the difference is the police patrol over here, and then over there, like it's just drills, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, that's another one. And also, wait, they yell at each other, don't they?
Funny story. Practically every day. Okay, wait. In the U.S., there's like physical fights, right, between students. But like over here, it's like the students argue with the teachers. It's hilarious. Like practically every class, there's like a new argument. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like it's.
You're like, see?
So for you, it was a shock when a student actually argued with a teacher.
Oh my goodness. The first day of school, I was like, did they just say that? But now I'm like used to it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, go off, like, you know.
And also, you had mentioned that the math, the symbology of the symbols
yeah,
are different.
Yeah, they are. It's my glasses. My glasses are fogging up.
Because it's getting warm in here, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
kind
it
of
is.
hot.
Now,
Okay. You should put your daughter's new channel in the notes for these videos. Yeah. So next time we do a live, if we do want to have a channel, you know.
Yeah, well.
No, I think you're talking about your channel.
Oh, my channel? I could put it again.
Medic Marie. It'll be in one of the comments. She's putting the comment
I'm
right
putting it right
now. She's
now.
writing it. By the way, I was mentioning about the credential. The credential looks something like this. You get it at the pilgrim's office. Well, this is the one that I bought in the Burgos Cathedral.
Because you lost it.
I didn't lose it. It was you girls who lost it. By the way, there's a video about losing the credentials. So you buy this, and when you walk, you go to different places, and what you do is you get a stamp for everywhere you go, either the hotels or the restaurants, and you start filling all that. By the time you get to the end, you should have everything. I'm only missing 2 stamps here. By the time you get to the end, you turn this, and they'll give you the Compostela, which is the certification that you walk the 500 miles if you did the Camino Frances, or the 1,000 miles if you did the Via de la Plata. There's like 10 or 12 caminos that you can do.
and in the back, they give you in the back.
Oh, in the back,
They show you the different
the
routes.
different routes and the different caminos. They're on the back of the.
At least for this one.
Yeah, at least for this one.
Mhm.
And it tells you also, there's the Camino Portugués also, which is very famous. But the most famous Camino is the Camino Frances, the one that starts usually in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, but you can start it as far back as the Netherlands to join the Caminos. Then they go through France, and Paris, Le Puy-Laval, and different stuff. So anyway, you got another like.
Yes.
You got another like.
Here you go, yes.
You got another like.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
Did
you
Mom,
for
did my
letting
comment
me.
pop up? Because I think mine's not coming
So
up.
that's what we have. So once again, the Camino de Santiago right now, Navarra, it's on a lockdown. They have police officers at the borders from Navarra. And I also saw on the news they got police officers in the border with La Rioja. So when you leave Navarra and you enter La Rioja after the city of Viana, they have cops in there, and you cannot go in or out unless you have a justification. So if you're a student, you got to have a letter from the school saying that you're studying. If you're working or need to work, you also have a letter that you have to show the cops. If not, they'll turn you around. And they're putting also sanctions. I heard they're between 100 euros to 3,000 euros for those who violate the curfew.
Wow.
And
That's
if
a
they
lot
don't
of
see you
money.
with masks.
And they'll
you
see you
have
with
to wear
masks.
masks.
Yeah, they're getting very, very tight with
My
this.
thing isn't popping up whenever I commented.
Oh,
Because you should
interesting.
put your daughter's new channel on the notes for these
Do
videos.
you
And
want
I
me to
just
comment?
Well, we'll
Yes,
try to get in there.
comment.
So Navarra, it's on a lockdown. Leon's on a lockdown. I believe Burgos went on a sort of like a lockdown. And right now, the government in Spain, they're having some issues because they want to make a unified plan so that where you go to different sections, everyone will have the same restrictions. But right now, some of the cities, they have one sort of restrictions. Then you go to another city, they have another sort of restriction. So the government is getting together here in Spain to make sure they have a unified plan for any lockdowns or restrictions in Spain. So like I mentioned before, the lockdown in Navarra right now, as I understand, no pilgrims can get in or out of Navarra. They can walk within Navarra. So those who made it past the border and were in Roncesvalles when the lockdown came, they can walk all the way from Roncesvalles all the way up to Viana. But once they get into Viana, when they're going to cross to La Rioja, then they're not allowed to cross, as I understand, because the cops will not let them walk until November the 7th, I think, is when they lift the lockdown of the Camino de Santiago and the borders of Navarra.
Yeah, but plus also the albergues should be closed. They said that we're going to have everything closed. So I don't know if there's a pilgrim that is stuck in that, in one of the lockdowns. They're probably camping, outside because there's no place to stay.
There are very, very few hotels open. In fact, when we were walking last Monday and we walked through Palas del Rey, the only thing that was open were hotels, and all the municipal albergues that we saw, all of them were closed. So the pilgrims were only staying in either private albergues or very few public albergues, but the municipal albergues, which are run usually by the government, and most of the parochial albergues, which are the church albergues, were all closed. And they said we're closed due to the pandemic, and we're closed due to the lockdowns. And when we went this last weekend, we stayed in hotels, which is a little bit more expensive than the albergues. Usually in albergue, you can either do a donativo, which is you give whatever you want, but they usually range between 5 euros and 12 euros. And the hotels, they range between 35 euros for single beds all the way up to 180 euros if you want to stay in a very, very nice hotel. There's a hotel called Rey Juan Carlos, Rey Sanchez in Sarria, which is very famous, which I don't recommend. I stayed there and I don't recommend it because what you pay for and what you get it wasn't that good. But those are the prices. The last hotel we stayed, we paid 45 euros on Puerto Marin, and that was a very good hotel. It was very clean, and most of the private albergues, and that's the reason why we were staying in private albergues, they're very, very clean, and they try to do a very good job because they want to keep the pilgrims going through there. The public albergues, then you got a lot of people, even though with the restrictions now, most of the public albergues are limited to half of their capacity. But that's the reason why most of the public albergues and the municipal albergues are closed, is because they cannot afford it. So once again, at least from what we saw last week, all the municipal albergues were closed.
Yeah. I'm trying to comment my name of the channel on here, but it's not working.
Yeah, and
It's
I
not-
tried commenting too.
Maybe
and
I
it
can
wasn't
put it on
working,
Facebook.
so-
That's fine. You can
But
do
don't
that
worry,
later.
we'll put it on the link below for her channel.
Now, does
And all that.
anybody have any questions before
Before we wrap it up,
we wrap it up?
if you have any questions about the Camino or any questions about us, we'll answer them, as soon as we can, which will be right now because we're live.
Well,
Time for a commercial.
in the meanwhile, yes. Well, I know you're like, you just did a commercial. Like, why are you doing a commercial again? Well, there might be some new people, I'm holding this backwards, who haven't seen this fabulous journal with the sunflowers. Yes. And so pretty much you could write down your experiences and keep track so you don't forget, like,
He actually uses the journals on his daily updates, if you didn't know. So, like, you can see it on some daily updates that he breaks down everything
Camino
there too.
Bites.
Yeah, the Camino Bites.
On the Camino Bites,
Yeah.
what I do is when I complete the day, I go at the end of the day and I write down everything. So when I do the Camino Bites, I read off the journal, and it keeps everything fresh in the mind. So I should do it while I walk, but I don't want to be walking with the pencil and that and the
And the
camera and the drone and all that. So it's kind of hard to do. So all the drone footage that I take and all the camera, it's usually the camera that I have in here. I just take it off film, and the drone I have it usually hanging from here. So I open the drone.
People are always looking at you, so if you had the book and a pencil too.
Yeah, so, I'll be with the pencil, the drone, and all
You
that.
scare away all the pilgrims.
I will scare them.
yeah. So like, just so you don't like forget your experience, and so you don't forget all the people that you met during your walk, you can keep like their contacts, and
You can also put down their Instagrams or Facebook or Twitter. Or
Which, by the way, we
whatever.
do have an Instagram account.
Oh yeah. If you guys want to follow our Instagram, mine's Amaris.Hernandez with 2 Z's, and then yours is.
Anielis_12, which we will write them down because you guys probably don't even know how to write my name.
And we got it BDE Travels at BDE Travels for our Instagram. In fact, if you go to the BDE Travels Instagram, over there I put a relive.
Relive.
Well, there's a relive video, and it's an app that I use that it monitors and it records my walk from the beginning to the end, and I post pictures alongside the Camino.
Yeah.
So you'll enjoy that very much. So if you go to the Instagram for BDE Travels, you'll get the relive. Did I say that right? Relive.
Once
Is it relive or relive?
it's relive. Once I get an Instagram, I will tell you guys.
No, it's relive.
But
And at least for my Instagram, I do give shout outs from now on in Medic Marie. So if you guys want to check that out too.
so like
Okay.
back to the journal, the beautiful
what is it called?
sunflowers.
Different. Okay.
And fun fact, if you didn't already know,
No, that's okay.
sunflowers are my favorite flower. So one like on this live will equal 1 sunflower for me.
And it helps us out. We're doing the Camino. You get to see the videos for free and everything that helps us out. So all that. So we're going to wrap it up. We thank you for watching. We appreciate all your subscriptions, all your comments, all your prayers while we're on the Camino. They're very much appreciated. We're gonna wrap it up now. I am editing the video from Virgen del Camino to Hospital de Órbigo. So be on the lookout for that in the next few days. Hopefully, if I can, I'll try to post it tomorrow. If not, it'll be there during the week. And great things to come here on BDE Travels. Let me see. Jose Suarez, my cousin and 2 friends are thinking of doing the Camino Inglés when this peregrine is over. That's another Camino. Yes, the Camino Inglés is a very short one up in the northwest side of Spain. It's also very beautiful. Once you get into the area of Asturias, Galicia, the rolling hills, they're just beautiful. The Camino Norte, it's a tough one, but the Camino Norte is the most beautiful one. So that's why we have it in our bucket list. Hopefully, with the pandemic, it's over or they lift the restrictions, we'll be able to do the Camino del Norte, which I am very much looking forward to that and recording. So we got plans for doing recordings in Puerto Rico. BDE Travels will be in Puerto Rico. We're gonna do some recordings in New York very, very, very soon. Also, we're gonna do another video in Disney World, Orlando.
I think that's closed.
But I mean, we're gonna do it when they open up. And so I'm just telling them the future plans for BDE Travels are we're not just gonna stay in the Camino de Santiago.
Yeah.
We're gonna expand to different places.
We have already been to Disney Springs. If you would like to check out that video.
We already have it up, yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
video in Disney Springs from BDE Travels
Are
in
we gonna
Disney
do a
Springs.
Part 2?
We're gonna do a part 2, but not on Disney Springs. We're gonna go to the parks, but when they do open. So those are the future plans in the BDE Travels. We also have plans to go to England, and now that we have a couple of friends, Faye and they're YouTubers, we're gonna try to see if we can get in contact with them so that we can have a collab in England. So that's coming soon.
I can actually say that I have a friend from England now. She goes to my school.
So she's got you got a friend from England, you got a friend from Vietnam, Nicaragua, Taiwan.
Well, Vietnam, that's been since New Jersey. By the way, Cal, if you're watching this, hi, I love you.
We got friends in Italy, we got friends in Korea, and all because of where we spend time. So that's a great thing about spending time in different places. You get to meet a lot of people from different cultures, different countries. You get to taste their food, their language. It's a beautiful thing to share the differences, and that's part of what we do here in BDE Travel. So once again, we thank you for staying with us here in this live video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make comments below, and usually we answer your comments within 24 to 48 hours. So, anything else you want to say before we leave?
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
For watching, liking this video. Make sure to share so more.
Wait, how was that? Make sure to share. Is that what you did? What's that?
I don't know.
Make sure to follow my Instagram, especially mine, okay? Because
Especially mine.
Especially
because
all yours.
I will give shout outs and stuff in Medic Marie, and there's a lot of things planned for that channel. So I don't want to say a lot because then it's just like
It's just spoiling everything.
There's
Let
a
us-
lot of stuff in that channel. That's coming
Let
up,
us know
but-
also what would you like us to talk about on our next live and all that. So,
Yeah.
Gloria, yes, thank you. Buen camino, and the word is ultreya, and the pilgrim usually answers Esuseya. So look it up. What does ultreya means and what does Esuseya means, and that's part of only those who have walked the Camino know what ultreya and Esuseya mean.
What does
So-
that mean?
Well, that's the thing. You don't know what ultreya is?
I mean, I remember you mentioning it to me, but I forget.
See, Gloria knows what ultreya and Esuseya means.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we said we were gonna wrap this video.
but we can't wrap it up.
Yes,
We
okay.
love staying with these people. So
All right.
and all that. So anything else you want to say, Nanita?
Love you guys.
Love you guys. You, what do you want to say something?
I said the Instagram and
There you go. Make or comment about the YouTube thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Make a comment about YouTube channel.
If you want to see a YouTube channel with all three of us, with just her, with her experience here and stuff, and her channel and stuff like that. I don't know stuff.
And
What emoji? They should call
Mom.
it emoji.
Put a sunflower emoji in the
thank you for your
comments.
subscription and for giving us support and for your prayers because it's not easy.
yeah, please stay safe. Take care of
Yeah.
yourself and each other
Mhm.
during this pandemic. Just be careful. Make sure you take all the precautions and all that. We love you guys. We do appreciate you watching our videos. There's a lot of people making YouTube videos on the Camino de Santiago.
And we appreciate
And we appreciate you at least watching
Yeah.
our channel and watching our videos and all the comments and all that. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we hope that we will become part of your family so you can enjoy our travels here with BDE Travels. So
And one last thing, if you haven't already, make sure to go and vote. That's also, we encourage voting, so go vote if you haven't voted.
yeah, this is a very important election. It will make very important decisions. So make sure you vote. Even though we're in Spain, we made the arrangements to vote also. So make sure you vote. So once again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. BDE Travel saying goodbye.
Bye.
Please
We'll see you.
subscribe.
Thanks, subscribe. So bye-bye.
How do you do it?
And stream on the red one down there.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Mommy, something.
Bye. Ew.